Welcome to the Mount Franklin Crocoseum. Please ensure your social distancing during the Australian Zoo Wildlife Warrior Show. Please leave 3 seats between each family.
You raise a wildlife warrior. There's no change in that. She's so cute. As warriors, we stand shoulder to shoulder to defend the wildlife and our planet. Come with me, share with me, share my wildlife with me, because humans want to save things they love. My job, my mission, the reason I've been put onto this planet is to save wildlife. And I thank you for coming with me. So yeah, let's get it.
Welcome to Wildlife Warriors!
And welcome to Australian Zoo. And welcome into our world famous Crocoseum. How are we all doing today? Oh, that wasn't very convincing. Come on, how are you all doing today? That is what we like to hear. And we're feeling pretty good too. If we haven't met already today, my name is Taylor.
And my name is Daisy. But before we kick the show off, Taylor and I would love to recognise the Gubby Gubby.
They are the traditional owners of the land we are standing on, and we'd like to acknowledge those elders past, present and emerging.
Yeah, exactly right. But Taylor, take a look at this crowd. We are so excited to have you all back with us at the zoo, and we are incredibly grateful for your patience as we work together to get everything back to normal as quick as possible. Now here at the zoo, we're pretty lucky as we actually have over 100 acres of wide open space, making social distancing pretty darn easy.
Yeah, it sure does. So enjoy yourself today as you adventure around the zoo, checking out some of our incredible exotic animals and our beautiful natives, just like our pigeons, kangaroos, and of course, the saltwater crocodiles.
Yeah, you know what, Taylor, this has put me in a pretty fantastic mood, and you look like you're in a good mood too. So I reckon it's time we give out some free stuff. But, I don't know, does anyone here like free stuff?
Yeah, that's right. We all love free stuff, but we also know nothing in this world is ever truly for free. So we're going to make you get a little bit silly for your prizes today. Daisy, we're at a zoo. Let's do animal impersonations.
I like it. Alright, well, as we have such a big crowd today, why don't we split it into half?
Yeah, so that means if you're sitting from this corner here, right in front of me, and around to that corner there, you are the lucky one to my group number 1.
Yeah, so that means if you are right in front of me and all the way under that big screen, you guys, you go with me and like group number 2.
Alright, group number 1, I think we'll kick this off today, but Daisy, we may need an example, so can you give us your best animal impersonation?
Alright, what about? What?
A funky chicken. I mean, that was a good animal impersonation. Group number 1, Daisy has spoken. On the count of 3, out of your seats, giving us your funkiest chicken. The best chicken I see today is getting a prize. What's it free stuff? On 3, 2, 1, go! Yes, lots of energy out there today. Right at the back, guys. Very funky chicken over there. Anyone over in the following car, please? Yeah, the corner as well. Ooh, it is really tough to choose. Alright, group number 1, slow down. Amazing energy, but over here, yeah, you know who you are. To truly earn this prize, though, can you stand up for me and do that one more time? 3, 2, 1, go! That is an incredibly funky chicken. Congratulations, third prize from your way.
Oh, nice job. Well, group number 2, we have not forgotten about you. Now, Taylor, I have definitely seen the chickens. Take a look at group number 2. Over here.
Ooh, you know, this looks like a very cheeky bunch to me, so what about... Ooh,
Ah, the old cheeky monkey, I love it. Alright, group number 2, we're going to throw this totally over to you. You can be primates of any kind. You can be an orangutan, you can be a gorilla. Gentlemen, if you have a hairy chest, get that out. Because Taylor, she loves to see a hairy chest. Alright, group number 2, are you ready? Your cheekiest monkeys on 3, 2, 1, go! is that. Yeah, that was awesome, but you know the drill. Yeah, we're gonna see that one more time. 3, 2, 1, go! Oh, I love it. Congratulations, mate. The prize is coming your way.
Yeah, that was well deserved. Now we would love to give a prize to each and every one of you today, but we promise our Wildlife Road show coming up will be prize enough for you all.
Yeah, exactly right. But you know what, Taylor? I think this might be the perfect time to pay tribute to the man himself, Steve Owen. Now without him, his love and dedication, none of this, and definitely none of us would even be here today. Now Steve, he was pretty famous for 13 things, but maybe particularly famous for one word. So, can anyone tell me what that word was?
Crikey, that is right. So we're going to do what we call here at Australia Zoo a good old-fashioned cry-off. Group number 1, we are now versing group number 2. And this is how it's going to work. On the count of 3, you need to jump up out of your seats, throw your thumbs in the air, and give me your loudest and your proudest crikey in honour of Steve. And then Daisy and group number 2 are going to try and lead us.
Right, that's what you think, Kayla, but I reckon to make this fair on you, as the judge, I'm actually going to look straight into our VIP section. Yeah, gentlemen down the front, can you be our judge? All you have to do, buddy, is pick the loudest side. Yeah, I reckon we got this.
Alright, group number 1, way to kick this off today. Once again, your loudest and your proudest crikey on 3, 2, 1.
That was pretty cute, but group number 2, I know we can do better. So again, on the count of 3, up, out of your seats, your hands in the air, and give me crikey on 3, 2, 1.
Because I did it.
Taylor, how many times have you lost? Like, I cannot even count anymore, but you know the drill. Today, unfortunately, your whole team, time to leave.
Whoa, Daisy, come on, we only just got here. Group number 1, are we going to leave? Yeah, I didn't think so. Do we want to see some wildlife? Well, that is good to hear because these marbles are over your heads for our beautiful cause. Now, these birds are native to Central and South America. These colourful characters are pretty hard to miss, both in sight and sound.
Yeah, there are 17 different species of the call, and they can range from the size of a small parrot all the way up to the hyacinth, which can grow over 1 metre long.
And they all have unique personalities and looks.
really?
Those feather lines on their faces are just like our fingerprints, meaning they're unmatchable to any other.
However, it is because of their beauty, people are stealing them from the forest and selling them as pets. Now, make no mistake, it is all of you who can keep these beautiful birds flying free, and that is by always saying no to the illegal wildlife trade.
And trust me, you do not want a pet bird that lives to be 100 years old, but remains forever as hyperactive as a 5-year-old child.
Yeah, for sure. You know what, Taylor? It's about time we take this from feathers to scales.
Yeah, good idea. Now check out the snakes making their way through the Crocoseum. Here in Australia, we are so lucky because we are home to more species of venomous snakes than non-venomous. These snakes joining you are of the non-venomous variety, and they've grown up right here at Australia Zoo, so they're feeling very comfortable around people.
Yeah, exactly right. And wild snakes, however, feeling cornered or threatened, the only thing they can do to protect themselves is to bite. So it makes sense that we hear most people are bitten whilst actually trying to catch or even kill a snake.
Now, fortunately, the first aid for an Australian snake bite is simple and effective. If you follow these next steps, you can save someone's life.
Now, Taylor, I'm going to address the huge elephant in the room. Now, it's pretty obvious that Hamish has unfortunately been bitten by a snake. Now, if you are ever just as unlucky as Hamish is, a few things to remember. Keep calm, don't move, and don't panic. The more you move around, the more that venom is going to circulate through your body. Now, what you would need is a bandage. I don't have a bandage.
Daisy, did you figure the bandage again? Look, it's alright. So I actually have back up today. There we go. Now, thankfully, we have exactly what we need, which is that compression bandage. But if you don't have a bandage, a piece of clothing or even a belt will do the trick.
Now what we want to do is locate that bite site and then wrap it 3 to 4 times before covering the rest of the limb.
Just remember, don't wrap it so tight that you can't circulation. The same amount of pressure you would use on a sprained ankle or a wrist.
Yeah, once your patient is all bandaged up, call an ambulance. Make sure they stay still and calm until the ambulance arrives, and always let the call come to you.
Yeah, excellent advice, Daisy, but I'm pretty sure that English needs to get back to work, and we've got to get out of here because Adele is going to take you all to the skies. In Australia, we are home to some incredible bird life. And if you're lucky, you might be able to spot a beautiful whistling kite just like Fletcher. Now you can see how perfectly he does glide through the sky. Now these birds, they're perfectly adapted to be able to do that and cruise in the thermals. Now these birds, they can also spot a prey item from about 800 metres away. So once they do spot that prey item, what they'll do is use those powerful talons to be able to take it down. Now these birds, they're also a monogamous species, which means they do mate for life. So more often than not, if you do see one out in the wild, you will see two.
Cute.
Now whistling kites, they're very opportunistic hunters, which means they'll eat basically anything that they can get their talons on. Now you can see him working that wing there. This is exactly what you will see them do out in the wild. And it does take quite a lot of energy and effort for them to be able to pop out of those thermals and come back down. Now, if you don't see these birds catching something and eating it on the wing, you will often see them on the side of the road eating a carcass or even some carrion or roadkill. So if you are travelling around Australia, guys, keep your eyes out for a beautiful whistling kite. Now, as we do go from aerial to aquatic, we open up a whole new lot of hunting. But we do find some species of birds that can swim as deep and as fast as the fish. And that is exactly how our two cormorants, like these two, can catch their aquatic meals. Now, as you all can see, they're both pretty much perfectly designed for life in the water. Now, this is because they do lack that water-resistant coating on their feathers that many other birds do have. And it does allow them to swim faster and dive to those greater depths in pursuit of that prey. But while this may be great for life in the water, a bird, they can't really take to the skies with wet feathers. So that's exactly why you see cormorants lining the riverbanks of Australia, flapping their wings to shake off the excess water. And then you will often see them holding them outstretched. And it's almost as if they're hanging themselves out to dry. Now you're all a pretty lucky audience today because we are going to be joined by one of our most interactive birds that we do have here at the zoo. And I'm sure they're pretty excited to get out here, so I would love to introduce Adele to take it away.
Thanks, Adele. G'day, everyone. This is my mate, Eli, and he's a very handsome red-tailed cockatoo. Now, not only has Eli been trained to fly from point to point, he's also been trained to fly from person to person. But to demonstrate this today, I think we're going to need the help of an adult volunteer out in the Crocoseum. So, who here wants to meet Eli face to face? Come on, guys, I heard you earlier. Yeah, that's all I get. Oh, yeah, okay, I'm going to go with the gentleman who stood up. Can you stand up again for me? This is really easy. All I need you to do is just reach into your wallet and pull me out $5 note, yeah? Yeah, we can hear a few of you laughing. But you see, we do need this note because your wife doesn't know this person. So we've trained him to fly to a very common everyday object, which just so happens to be your note. How'd you know? We got one? Perfect. Can you fold that in half for me, please? And then in half one more time, just like a nice little rectangle.
Mate, he's never getting it back.
Between two fingers and
It's
straight out to
gone.
the side for me. Now your
He doesn't
wife
even
should
know
see
it
that
yet.
note and know exactly who to fly to.
I got it.
Mate, it's gone.
I love this bird.
You fucking pocketed it.
Alright, anyone over here with 20? 50? We take hundreds. No, you're all really quiet now. No, I'm only joking. I will get this back to you, so stand up for me again, yeah? Place that arm out to the side. Actually, you know what? It's pretty windy, so why don't you make it easy for your life today? Can you place both your arms out this time? Great, now just flap really hard, fly down and grab it. That's a great effort. I'm just joking again. One arm out this time with your palm facing up like a little landing platform. You're lying, he's going to deliver this one via airmail. Once he does place that note in the palm of your hand, just fold a few fingers over it. And thank you very much. This is your life, our amazing red-tailed black cockatoo.
Well done, you live. What a superstar. Now it's time to meet some of your lives' best mates.
Check out our gorgeous neighbour parrots. Each cheeky birds are naturally pretty social in the wild and have a very distinct call. So keep your eyes and your ears open as you may just be lucky enough to see one of these birds flying around Australia.
But now we would love to introduce you all to the speed demons of the bird world, our rainbow and red coloured monkeys!
Not as fast as a British man.
Because they are my favourite food item.
Grab that right out of the sky like a pigeon.
But all of our native birds, they do go out in the bush for food and for shelter. So just remember, no bush, no birds.
To true Adele, now worldwide habitat loss is still the #1 threat, facing the survival of all our incredible wildlife.
So let's make a difference today. Whoever you are, wherever you live, grow native plants in your backyard, and sooner or later you will have incredible wildlife living at your place.
Well, please put your hands together for Melanie, Adele, and our gorgeous Australia Zoo free blackbirds. Alright, Daisy, this is leaving us one thing left to do.
Let's do it. Who wants to see the crocs?
3.6 meters long, weighing in at 350 kilograms. Our crocodile today is Charlie.
Now 260 million years ago, there were no birds, there were no mammals, there were dinosaurs. You're about to meet one of these living fossils, a link to those creatures of the past.
There are 27 different species of crocodilians found around the planet, from alligators, gharials, caimans to the true crocs.
I'm here to tell you all about it, we have Nero. Please make them feel welcome. It's the Australia Zoo Croc Team.
Thanks, guys. Now, if you all want to have a look at Richie coming out of the gate there, and just in the water, we've got Charlie slowly swimming out. Now, what I'm going to do with Charlie's help and Richie's help, I'm going to show you exactly what not to do up in Northern Australia. So we're going to make some pretty massive mistakes. Richie was making a pretty massive mistake just then. He was way too close to the water within the crocodile strike range. So if you do basically the opposite of what we do, you're going to be fine if you're up in Northern Australia and you're around wild crocodiles. So right now he's slowly making his way over. He's under the water. He's honing on the vibrations of us walking around the water's edge. The biggest mistake people make up in Northern Australia is just being too close to the water, going in the water with a croc. This is what people, probably someone doing it right now up in Northern Australia, knee deep out the water, having a fish, if not going for a swim. It's probably sticking hot today up there. And you've got this crocodile that's honing in on those vibrations, honing in on those flashes. He knows exactly where I am without having to pop up, without having to show himself. To be honest, it makes him pretty angry, pretty keen. Come here, fella. Now he is all angry. He's all yours, Richie.
Zero. Alright, Charlie does get angry. He's a great crocodile. Come on, Charles. Come on. That's it, buddy. Don't ever be fooled by this crocodile. He looks like he's coming out slow. He's always looking at us. Look up, bud. That's my legs. There's not much meat there either. Come here, look up. That's better. Oh, how's that? Great thing about Charlie is when you're that close, you can see exactly where his eyes are looking. He wasn't looking at the little chicken wing. But when he wants to hit his strike from the tip of his snout to the base of his tail, that's his strike range. And he can do that in an instant. So if you're actually standing at the water's edge right within that, you wouldn't be able to get out of the way quick enough. He's heading back to the water. He wants to see Nero get in the water.
Get back in the water.
Sounds like you're off the hook.
Come on. Let's go out, mate.
Go for it, Nero.
What a
I mean, he's already
masochist.
in the water, but he's facing the other way. As soon as I jump in, straight away he turns in. I mean, this is his home, and he's going to protect that home the only way he knows how, and that's with those big teeth in his mouth. Try and bring him out on this side. Jump him fella. And if he does do a big strike on this side, he can literally hit this fence in one go. What's she doing? She's going to cut me off. Come on, Charlie. Come on. What he's doing here, Charlie likes to play a game. It's called Come Closer. He can play it, but he can only play it once. Come on, Charlie. He's not keen at all with this. He wants to do
This
that.
is Charlie actually at his
Yeah.
best. This is when you don't know what he's going to do, but it involves you. Exactly. Alright, this is called a tail walk. It's natural behaviour. Crocodiles do it out in the wild. Saltwater crocs, when they hatch out, they're 15 centimetres long. They are tiny. But at that size, they'll launch out frogs and insects on reeds and plants which overhang the water, and they can still do a tail walk as an adult. And Charlie is the champion of tail walks here at the zoo. He can get up as high as this top rail when he wants to. You angle his head back up, and you'll see that tail start to twitch when he's ready to go. He also looks massive from here too. Alright, Charles. Drift a little bit under me now. Out here, on his side. And any day Charlie doesn't go straight into things, is the day you've got to be a bit more nervous. That's him thinking about what he wants to do when he gets a bit unpredictable. Animals like flying foxes, they'll roost often in their thousands, and they hang upside down from the branch of a tree, so that works out well for a tail-walking crocodile. So a lot of animals will roost above the water on branches, and flying foxes even flying low above the water. These are potential prey for a croc to do a tail walk. Come on, Charles. And the other thing about Charlie is, get him up here to do a tail walk, often you hear his jaws pop. Crocs have more jaw pressure than any other living animal, immense jaw pressure. You get to hear those jaw bones coming together. So now that I've mentioned that, here we go, hopefully we get to hear it. My hair.
He's looking at his foot.
Here we go. Hey, buddy. How's that? He's a champion with this. Over here, buddy. He's definitely one of my favourite crocodiles here at the zoo, not my favourite. Here we go. Alright. And the lesson there for us is just, if you're up in Northern Australia, don't climb out on anything which overhangs water.
Now, crocodile territory is not here on the Sunshine Coast. You do have to travel up to North Queensland, continue over the top of Australia, down to Peru in Western Australia.
Alright, we're going to try and get him out one more time. Put to bed one of the biggest myths about crocs, and that's that they can run fast up and hard on the ground. People want to say they can run as fast as a horse, they can chase you down. Go on, mate. But that's literally flat out for Charlie up and hard on the ground. Right, look at Luke.
Oh, he's having a go.
Yeah, give it up for him. And I mean, if you have a look at him, you can see why he's so slow on land. I mean, he's got these short little stumpy legs that are literally like this long to have to carry around like 350 kilos. He's got that massive round belly underneath him that's going to drag around. And he has that big tail behind him that, I mean, in the water, that gives him the power to swim as fast as a dolphin over short distances, gives him the power that if he wants to do a massive strike from the water's edge. But up on land, the whole time, that was literally just dragging behind him, slowing him down greatly. It's like us trying to walk around with a couple of tyres tied around our waist. So it's just not designed for running up on hard solid ground. He's designed to go super fast in the water. He's designed more like a torpedo than he is designed like a greyhound. So I can probably, in my money in my mouth is, and he's turning around. But it's less interested in me than he's interested in going back to the water. Like literally sit down in front of him, and look, he's turning away, he wants to go back to the...
Don't get too comfy.
He's thinking about going back to the water. But the way to avoid crocodiles is just stay away from that spot where he is so dangerous. You'll stay about 4 to 5 metres back from the water's edge, and you're out of that strike range of the crocodile. Like Richard showed us, don't overhang the water. People have been taken by that tail walk method in the past. And then the last rule, probably the most simple rule, is just to not go in the water. Don't go knee deep and have a fish. Don't go out and have a swim in Billabong because it's hot, because that's where, for the most part, people become unstuck, and that's where they get grabbed and killed by a crocodile. And if you don't follow those couple of simple things, and you be a bit silly and you get grabbed by a crocodile, that's when these guys get branded as evil, ugly monsters, and they want to go out and they want to cull them, they want to relocate them. And at the moment in Queensland, at the start of the year, legislation was passed allowing the collection of 5,000 crocodile eggs from the wild to get taken to croc farms to grow up to be about 1.5 metres long, and then they're shot and turned into boots, bags and belts for the fashion industry, something that we don't agree with here at Australia Zoo, and it's pretty disgusting. We're trying to put a stop to it at the moment. So there's going to be a video up on the big screen when Vinny will tell you a bit more about it, and afterwards there will be a link to sign a petition to hopefully put a stop to that egg collection.
Australia Zoo and its partners have conducted the longest and most comprehensive study on crocs. The harvesting of crocodile eggs is a catastrophe for crocs. Queensland saltwater crocodiles are vulnerable in the wild. Our research indicates that crocs still need our protection. The removal of protection laws for crocodiles will destroy future generations. Join with us to protect crocs and all our native wildlife.
Alright, so if you head to that link up there and sign that petition, you'll be able to help us out against that taking the wild. But we don't expect everyone to go away loving them like we do. We absolutely love them. We get to work with them every day. But if you go away with a bit more appreciation for them, while they play in the environment, that would be all we could ask.